This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the morning of December 5th, 2022. I'm Alex Brown. Indiana's Secretary of Commerce says Northeast Indiana is poised for continued growth. Speaking at last week's Engage Northeast Indiana event in Fort Wayne, Brad Chambers said the region has really come together, fueled by $1 billion in investment in downtown Fort Wayne.
The momentum up here is incredible. Fastest growing community in the Great Lakes region, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Most educated community in the country, or one of the most. A great place for retirees, low housing prices, their GDP is growing.
Among the major investments in the region is the $286 million first phase of the Electric Works Mixed-Use Innovation District at the former General Electric campus in downtown Fort Wayne. Indianapolis-based Indiana City Brewing Company announced Friday it is seeking potential buyers for its brewery on the city's Near East Side. The company has tapped New Mill Capital in California to lead the process of finding a new buyer. Dallas-based Moore Capital is marking the completion of another massive warehouse in the Moore Logistics Park in Whiteland. The developer says the $42 million, nearly 830,000 square foot building, which is already 100% leased, brings the park's total square footage to more than 7 million. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Save the date for IBJ's CFO of the Year event, December 9th at 8 a.m. at the JW Marriott in downtown Indianapolis. Join us for breakfast and an awards presentation as we unveil this year's class of Indiana's top financial executives. Reserve your seat or secure a corporate table to show your support for this year's group of impressive honorees. Learn more and RSVP by December the 5th at ibj.com/events.
This is Gary Dick. Each week, Inside Indiana Business brings you the people, places, and policies that shape the Indiana economy. Be connected with Inside Indiana Business Sunday mornings at 8 on the IIB YouTube channel or check local listings for the show in your area.
Indianapolis-based AES Indiana has filed its 2022 Integrated Resource Plan with the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission, which serves as a roadmap for the company's power generation.
The utility says the 2 decades-long outlook shows a dwindling reliance on coal-powered generation and further adoption of wind and solar power. CEO Christina Lund says the plan reduces the utility's CO2 emissions per hour of electricity generated by 2/3 from 2018 to 2030. AES Indiana serves about 512,000 customers. It currently generates 3,600 megawatts of power, with half of that power coming from coal-fired plants, 42% from natural gas. The IRP suggests it will generate an additional 1,300 megawatts of renewable power by 2027 through the use of wind, solar, and battery energy storage. The utility says it plans to complete the conversion of 2 generational units in Petersburg from coal to natural gas in 2022. AES Indiana is projecting a 68% reduction in CO2 emissions by 2030 compared to 2018 levels. The utility says it will be monitoring emerging technologies, including green hydrogen, small modular reactors, and carbon capture for inclusion in future planning, including the next IRP in 2025. This is Gary Dick for Inside Indiana Business Radio.
The Perry County Development Corporation is partnering with Indianapolis-based job matching marketplace Make My Move to encourage remote workers to relocate to Perry County. The partners say the campaign will aim to attract remote workers through incentives and perks, including a $7,000 stipend designed to offset moving expenses and connect newcomers with local amenities. PCDC Chief Executive Officer Aaron Emerson says the program is a natural next step for its Pick Perry campaign, which launched in 2016 as a centralized community brand and website. Children's Museum of Indianapolis CEO Jennifer Pace Robinson is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.